Hello, YouTube land, and welcome to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast, episode 45, right here at the Force In Unison Gaming channel. Of course, joining me like always, Caleones. How you doing, Caleones? After a little bit of delay there, but we're here, and we're here to attack. So, what's up, Caleones?
Hey, how you doing, Dantes? How you doing, everybody? And yes, I mean, we got pretty big topics to talk about this week. There were a lot of big news that came out, like in the past couple of days. It seems like, everybody is getting ready for E3, and we had big bombs coming out over and over and over. So, yes, Dantes, go ahead and take it away. We will be talking about that. So, do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it quickly. Our rigmarole. I'm going to help us catch up in time. So I'm going to go fast. I'm going to do that Jim Carrey. I want to welcome everybody to Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast, episode 46, right here on the Force In Unison Gaming channel. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment so you can make these two crazy motherfuckers happy. Also, remember, we do have a Facebook page called @Force In Unison Gaming. Also, you can get this podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes for free. Also, please remember to go to chiguerosnews.com and give some clicks and love to my boy Caleones. With all that said, let's start the show, Caleones. So, are you ready? I said, are you ready? For the no one in attendance and these 7 people washing around the world, let's get ready for Reggie's Hot Topics of the Week.
My body is ready.
My body is ready. So, Caleones, what is the first hot topic?
Okay, so the big one, and I guess the first one and the biggest one is that Nintendo released more information on the Nintendo Switch Online, and Dantes, it includes data cloud backup. So now we're going to be able to save our data and feel safe that if anything does happen, you're not going to miss those 300 hours on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, those 300 hours on Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and those 100 plus hours on Super Mario Odyssey. So Dantes, this is it's pretty big. It's something we've been asking from the very beginning, and something that it should have been done here previously. There's no question that this should have been found last year somewhere, maybe at launch, maybe later. But Dantes, how do you feel now that we're finally going to have this?
Okay, so I'm going to go quickly, Caleones, because this news, I think, is good to lay it out. So I'm going to lay it out a little bit longer. And what I'm going to say with that, I'm going to tell you the full services. So basically, upcoming Nintendo Switch Online service is affordable, multi-feature paid service that lets users enjoy online play for compatible Nintendo Switch games. Access classic NES games with added online functionality, backup save data for most games, and use additional features for the Nintendo Switch Online Smart app that will enhance the online experience for compatible games. Nintendo revealed more information about Nintendo Switch Online, including price, save data, cloud backups, and additional details about the NES game subscribers, which will be able to play it when it launches in September. So what is the pricing? You can get this service for 1 month, $4, 3 months, $8, 12 months, $20, or you can go with, and this is the biggest surprise, the family pack, which I'm trying to convince Caleones and we'll talk about it when we get there. But the family pack, up to 8 family members, $35 per year. Anyway, Nintendo go and explained their subscription service, which is interesting because there's a lot to unpack, Caleones, in this news, which is basically they're going to have like a service where basically the Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo Switch Online subscribers will have access to NES Nintendo Switch Online, a compilation of classic NES games. The collection will initially include 20 games with more added on a regular basis. At launch, previously unannounced games, Balloon Fight, Dr. Mario, Super Mario Bros. 3 will join by Donkey Kong, Ice Climbers, The Legend of Zelda, Mario Brothers, Soccer, Super Mario Bros. Again, the original Mario Brothers, and then Super Mario Brothers, my bad, and Tennis. An additional 10 launch games will be announced in the future. And I think, of course, and you guys need to know this, after September, you will need to pay for online to play your favorite online games such as Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Orange, Mario Tennis Aces, Sushi Strikers, The Way of the Sushiro, and of course you know that that's going to happen too. Super Smash Bros. So you guys better know that and make sure that that you do it. Anyway, I wanted to unpack. A lot to unpack, Caleones. So let's start with cloud savings, right? Well, let me start with the service overall. The reason I'm trying to convince you to let's get the family pack, right, is because I really don't feel like paying this much for this. I really don't. I don't think there's nothing in here that tells me, oh my God, I need it now. Now, with that said, I am interested in how Nintendo is going to go with the Nintendo Entertainment System subscriber service. And how are they going to do this service? Is this going to be a Netflix type of service? Because we'll touch that for our later news in the Hot Topics, which was, of course, the Virtual Console. And how they're going to bring those games to the new generation. Interesting. I'm waiting to see if they're going to take the Xbox route, which is you download your game to the console and play it. Or are they taking a Sony route where you stream the game, right? Interesting. We shall see. I guess more information shall come. The cloud saving. I'm happy that cloud saving is here. But, Caleones, like I told you, Nintendo, again, a little bit behind with the times. That you need to give a free way for people to back up the service. It should not be, to back up your saves. It should not be, you shouldn't need to pay to save your saves, to back up your save. That is wrong. That is anti-consumer, Caleones. I'm sorry to say this, and I'm going all in on this one, because they need to come and bring a way, even if you do a hard drive or whatever. You can leave cloud saving behind the paywall, but they need to give a way to people to protect their saves and not be behind a paywall. Clarify that. We have to call BS when it's BS, and that's BS. But I am hoping that Nintendo does fix that at some point. But as of right now, it is the only way to save your data. So I have to take advantage of it, force me to take advantage of it, because I want to save my, you mentioned, my 300 hours save for Zelda Breath of the Wild and my 370 hours save for Xenoblade Chronicles, right? So, I'm barely touching my Switch right now. Aside, there's nothing big going on right now, but because I don't want to break it, honestly. No, I'm joking. But anyway, it's a risk there, Caleones. You know what I'm saying? Nothing about voice chat. Again, another feature that needs to be fixed. Nintendo, come up with the times. So that is something. But aside from that, I'm meh with what they announced. I am interested. In how they're going to do the streaming service, because that's going to dictate how Nintendo is going to handle their Virtual Console in a different way in the future. But that's my thoughts, Caleones. I know I don't pack a lot. I know I almost didn't breathe through all that rant. But, Caleones, any counterpoints or anything you want to add to what I stated?
Okay, well, I'm gonna give you something that I just experienced. I guess in the last couple of days. So that a lot of the kids these days are playing Fortnite and games like I'm playing it as well. But yeah. Okay, so my son, he's playing it a lot. He has a bunch of Xbox friends that play the game with him, and he also downloaded the game on the iPhone. So that way he can play on the iPhone as well. They can do the cross-play and things like that. But one of the things that we downloaded on the iPhone as well was the Xbox app. And on the Xbox app, you have pretty much the interface from the Xbox, where you have you can go to the store, or you can look at the messages, or you can even voice chat. So you can actually organize the parties. You can invite, or you can join a party, and you can talk to the people through the phone itself. So you don't really need any other applications or anything like that. So if Microsoft is able to do that with a simple application, Nintendo should be able to do that as well with their Switch Online application. So they already have the application there, and they can just organize everything on the application and just have it even if people want to talk, even if they're not playing a game, so they can get their the Switch friends together and do it there. So it's something simple. It's not something that you need 2,500 different cables, so you can connect the Switch, the phone, and headphones and everything else. how, like, I mean, you've seen how, the messes that can cause. But it's something simple. It's something that hopefully with this they're going to address. I know that there's, still a couple of things that they haven't really said, and this is not the full features. It's just, something more that they revealed. So I'm hopeful that something is going to be done to the point where Switch Online is going to include being able to chat with your friends, so or even send messages. So I'm hoping that that's going to happen. We still haven't seen it yet. And Nintendo being Nintendo, I know that they're, sometimes, can be very stubborn and not do certain things how you would normally expect it. But this, I'm hopeful that's going to happen. Going over with the other details. So you were talking about, I mean, if you get the online, so 1 month $4, 3 months $8, 12 months $20. So for those of you that don't really have a family and it's only yourself, I mean, $20 is okay. You still get the online, you still get the game downloads. I mean, it's a lot more cheaper than, of course, the PSN or Xbox Live Gold.
They better
But
not pay more for the service
yeah.
than the download. Sorry, anyway.
But I'm hoping that this is not going to be something where Nintendo's going to be like, well, let's go ahead and start at 20 and see how many people get it, and then we can increase it to 25 and 30 and 35,
They will get
40
hammered.
and yeah. So hopefully it'll stay like this. I do like that they're offering additional things. Like even though they're NES games, they're you can do the online, so you can do multiplayer or leaderboards or things like that. So I mean they haven't specified. There's I mean like games like Legend of Zelda on the NES. I don't know how you're gonna play that one as multiplayer. So I mean, so I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be like leaderboards and things like that for certain games that don't really have like the two-player co-op, or like Mario, that one is two players, but you play one, and once you die, then the next the next person takes a turn, and vice versa. But for those of you that have a family, and this is like Dantes said, this is something we already talked about, and we're probably going to be doing is the family plan, because that's $34.99. You can have up to 8 people included on the plan, and it does cover different Nintendo Switch units. It's not like 8 people on one Nintendo Switch, so you can cover multiple units. And between me and him, we currently have 4, and between both of us, it's 5 people total, at least for
And
now.
then maybe you can ask Roberto too, and he wants to join in, and we split
Yeah.
it 3 ways. Now things start becoming more acceptable for me. I'm just saying. But anyway, keep going, Caleones.
But that's only because you like hearing the whole 2-way, 3-way, 4-way thing.
Yeah, with a bunch of
But
dudes. Thank you, Caleones. Anyway, keep going.
But yeah, I mean, it makes total sense. So, the Nintendo Switch is a unit that you're probably gonna have more than one in your household, especially if your parents are avid, video gamers. So if the parents are avid video gamers, more than likely they're gonna have one. The kids are gonna have one. So there's gonna be multiple. And something like this, the 34.99, makes total sense. And I'm glad that they're offering it as well, because having to pay $20 for each and every one can get really costly, especially if you have 3, 4, 5 of them in a single household. So I'm glad that they're offering that one as well, and then it's not tied to a single unit. But I mean, but yeah, I mean, like we said, the biggest thing, of course, was the data cloud backup. I still believe that they can still do backups on an SD card, or you can, I mean, you already have the USB-C cable, just connect it over to a PC and transfer the save data from your Switch over to your computer, and you can back it up there as well. So that's something they even did it on the 3DS, that you can back up your data to your SD card or to your computer. So you can do it on the Switch with a micro SD, or to a computer as well, and not just the cloud backup. But I mean, it could be something where Nintendo wants to make sure that they offer the best value possible for the Switch Online, and they're doing it this way. And after maybe a couple of months, it's when maybe they'll offer the additional ways to back up. But they want to make sure that people know that the Switch Online, it's worthwhile, and then it justifies the price.
Okay, so let's close this topic quickly by, do you think the price is worth it, and do you feel they need to find a way to fix the cloud saving still? Because I don't think this is acceptable, but you tell me. I just want to hear your opinion. Everybody heard my opinion, but I want to hear your opinion.
Well, I'll say it, because some of the details are not concrete, but if it is something where let's say if we do it just a single, like $20. So if it's $20, and with that you get to download 20 NES games, you get to keep those games. As you know, they continue to shuffle and get more. Even if as you guys, as long as you get to keep them, as long as you have the subscription, they offer the additional online. You get the cloud backup as well. Um, then yes, for me it'll be a good value because they could have easily said, you know what, we're going to charge you $30, and that's only half of what you have to pay with with this with Sony and Microsoft. So they could have just gotten gone that way. But I'm okay with it as long as you can keep the Nintendo games. They'll continue to add more and more games, and it's not going to take a whole year to go from 20 NES games to 25 or something like that. So as long as they keep offering more games, and and they're available regularly, you have the backup saves, the cloud backups, um, and truthfully, and you get a better online experience for your games because some of the games have like a subpar online. I know I've had, especially during Splatfest, I had a couple of disconnects on on Splatoon 2. I had a couple of disconnects on Mario Kart Deluxe as well. So hopefully those things will be addressed whenever we start paying for it. So I'll say I'm okay with it.
So I will end with this. To your point, Nintendo better fix their online because people will start paying. So people will give crap to Nintendo if they don't get the online right or it's more stable connection. That's one. Get that out of the way. Two, they need to put somehow to back up your save and not be behind a paywall. That is unacceptable. Pure and simple. Wrong. As a consumer, that is an anti-consumer practice. Done. Now, some positives. I am interested to see on the NES service. I am interested to see if you can keep your games, to your point. You can, as long as you're subscribed, you can play those games forever, right? Or is it going to be more of a Netflix style where they have a bunch of games in and out as you go through? I am really interested, but I want to leave that there because Caleones, segue. Let's go to the next big piece of news where a lot of people were like almost destroying the internet. But I'm here in reverse where I was giving crap to Nintendo. I'm going to defend Nintendo on that. Woo! Surprise, surprise. So, Caleones, go to the next piece of news.
Okay, so whenever Nintendo announced this and the media outlets took it and ran with it, they could have presented it in two different ways. And most of them decided to present it in the wrong way. And the wrong way to present this was either by saying the Virtual Console is not coming to the Switch, the Virtual Console will no longer be available, or is never going to come, or it ceased to exist, or whatever. So a lot of people wanted to run with a negative connotation of the Virtual Console not coming to the Switch, but it really is coming to the Switch. It's just going to be under a different name. So that's mainly the big problem that I have with the media outlets. But yes, it's talking about the Virtual Consoles, and to keep it simple, the Virtual Console will not be coming to the Switch, as the Virtual Console itself is going to come in a different form. So Dantes, tell people about the different form.
Okay, so I want to say the statement exactly so people can hear it because that's going to take me to my point. This is what Nintendo sent. There are currently no plans to bring classic games together under the Virtual Console banner, as has been done on other systems. That was the exact quote. And let me repeat that, Caleones, for all the people who almost killed themselves as they were trying to destroy the internet. There are currently no plans to bring classic games together under the Virtual Console banner. What that means is that they're planning to bring them in a different way. And this could be your different way, which is your service, streaming service, or Netflix type of service, or downloading your games and keeping them as long as you have the service. Somehow they're doing it, right? Now, what I believe, though, Caleones, though, is that this service is going to basically be dedicated more to NES and Super NES. A lot of people were dreaming about having N64 and GameCube games on the Switch. I believe that is not gonna happen on the Switch. I may be wrong. I'm saying it out, flat out. I may be wrong because to me, under a new banner, Nintendo may want to sell those games again on the N64 and the GameCube because they may take longer to emulate. They may be harder to code for the Switch. So Nintendo may want some pay for those games, and they never have put, as to my memory, GameCube games under the Virtual Console banner. So that could be something that you can name this new, call it Nintendo Selects or whatever you want to call it, in the future to sell games where maybe Nintendo, again, because there's emulation out there that you can up-res games where you can have GameCube games looking in HD on the Switch. And I think that could be a killer sell why you would buy the games. But for this streaming service or this Netflix type of service, I don't think it's streaming, but I'm saying, let me put it this way. Netflix type of service, I believe it's going to be more dedicated between NES, Super NES, and maybe Game Boy, Game Boy Advance. Those type of games, they are easy to say, sell you in. You pay me those $20 a year, but you're going to have a good selection of games that you can play with friends online, that they're going to have some online features. I think that's a great way to do it, Caleones. I did not understood why people were having it almost reminded me of the whole Topical Freeze meltdown because it was out of the Nintendo issue. I thought that was overreaction to the finest, but this is overreaction to the finest because when you read the statement, it clearly states it's not that we're not bringing them; it's just that we're not gonna bring them to the old school way of doing things. Because in reality, do you really want to pay for games again and again? Because in reality, Nintendo, again, and I want to criticize Nintendo, has done an awful job of being able to transfer games that you bought in multiple generations because they never had user accounts by name, by users, right? And that hurt because then it was tied to the system. You had to buy your NES games on the Wii, your Super NES game on the Wii, but then you wanted them on the Wii U. Caleones, what did you have to do? Pull that cash again? Do you really want to keep doing it that way? I don't think so. I think Nintendo is trying, at least on this one, is trying to modernize themselves and say, let's do it. Let's steal something about PlayStation on this one, where you can keep your games as long as you have a subscription. But wait, no. Let's steal something about Xbox on this one, where we'll offer you a service, and then maybe we'll get some games in and get some games out per month, where that way, if you save them, a la PlayStation, you can keep them and play with them. But if they're gone that month, you won't have a chance to get them again or whatever, which is more of an Xbox way on how they do Game Pass, right? So Nintendo is finally looking at other consoles and trying to modernize themselves, Caleones. So I believe that hopefully, the only thing that I'm hoping, Caleones, and I don't think I'm going to criticize on this, is I'm hoping Nintendo gets faster on this. They are being a little bit slow. And the Switch has already been a year on there, and it's now you're saying you only get 20 games at launch. They need to, like you said earlier, you're hoping that those games come fast. They need to come fast so people forget about the Virtual Console. It's the only way that you're going to shut them up on this. But I will defend Nintendo. I think they're trying to find a way to make it better, and you don't need to be buying the games again. And one last point is, guys, you just bought an NES Classic. You just bought a Super NES Classic. There's a lot of games there that are right there offered for you in HD. Are they going to offer them again on the Switch where a lot of people are buying those systems? You see what I'm saying, Caleones? So to me, that's your Virtual Console, your end Virtual Console, if you want to put it that way. Anyway, Caleones, I said a lot. I want to give you time to react or, counterpoint or fight me.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm definitely not gonna fight you because no, we're not gonna have the Virtual Console in its original form, but yes, we're gonna have classic games on here. Right now, yes, they announced only NES games, like you said. They're more than likely gonna have SNES games as well. And I believe, I don't know who it was, either Eurogamer or somebody out there, that they actually doubled down on Nintendo 64 games being on the Switch as well. Even after the Nintendo Switch Online announcement, they they doubled down and said Nintendo 64 games will be coming to the Nintendo Switch as well. It's just something that they're gonna announce later. But okay, to the point. Do you remember, did you ever, Dantes, download any Virtual Console games on your Wii U?
In reality, no. But let me clarify why I did not, right? Because I did download some on the Wii, And Nintendo at that point, being a smart consumer, had not resolved your purchases are tied to your system issue. So I felt like, no, I'm not going to buy them again because then I'm going to lose them as soon as I'm done with the Wii U, because it's going to happen. You're going to move on to the next system. But anyway, that's my main reason. But go ahead, Caleones.
Okay, well, so let's talk about the games on the Wii. If you may or may not remember, but whenever you downloaded those games to the system, the quality of those games wasn't really as good as maybe even the original games. So you could probably go back to the original games, and those games would be looking better than the games that you would have on the Wii or the Wii U. Sometimes, yeah, especially on the Wii U, the games looked a little bit darker and not as detailed for some reason. So whatever software they were using to emulate those games on the Wii U, it wasn't good. And then you compare those games now to what the NES Mini or the Super NES Mini offers, and those games are night and day compared to the ones offered on the Virtual Console for the Wii, for the Wii U, for the 3DS. And that's, this is, Nerd. They deserve all the credits. They've done an amazing job with the NES Mini and Super NES Mini. And I believe, even though I haven't seen the games yet, but I believe that the Nintendo Switch Online has to be pretty tied up with Nerd, and Nerd is the one helping convert those games over to the system because now you have a quality system like the Switch. You have a quality screen, a 720p screen, and you don't want those like older, darker, type games from the Virtual Console on the system. You want to make sure that they look, like the quality wise, they're the best. And on the NES Mini and Super NES Mini, they look great. So that's why I believe Nintendo it's taking longer, because they're adding the online and doing these things, but also making sure that they up the quality of those games as well. And because Nintendo does have the offerings from the NES Mini and Super NES Mini, most of those games, can easily make it over to the Switch. And just with the added online and stuff, so most of those games are already done. Maybe this year, if they announce the N64 Mini and things like that, that's where those games little by little can be making it over to the Switch Online. But I'm glad that the Virtual Console per se, because the emulation wasn't as good, the quality wasn't as good, and like you said, the purchases were not tied to your account. Hopefully, with the Nintendo account that how we have it now, with the My Nintendo and the Nintendo accounts and those, hopefully now they will be tied. But that's what right now we don't really need to worry about it, because the Virtual Console is not here yet, if at all. But with the Nintendo Switch Online, you will have access to many more games than having to purchase them individually. So I think it's people have been overreacting. They haven't said no, it's not coming. But like you said, if and when it comes, it's going to be in a different way, and hopefully with a lot better quality than on systems past.
And last thing I wanted to add is, if you really are so passionate about those games, buy the physical, buy a Retron 5 and just have them. And let me clarify, the reason I say this is because you're never going to own your games if you keep downloading through the NES or, the Virtual Console or this new service. Because this new service, Caleones, I'll bet you you buy it, you download it, but you can only play it until unless you have the subscription service. As soon as you stop subscribing, you're done. You can't play it anymore. So to me, Retron 5, and I admit, Retron 5, with the new TVs, there's lag. Yes, there's lag, and it's tougher for old school games where you need precision. I agree. So my recommendation is get a low lag monitor, like a computer monitor, low lag, connect it to your Retron 5, and you'll be fine. You'll be happy. But own the games, buy the cartridges. You can get it. I know sometimes some games are tough to find, but sometimes it's better to pay $80 for the game. You own it, like I did for Super Mario RPG on the Super NES. Caleones, I have it up there. I bought that game late, I would say not late for my life, but I'm just saying I bought it older, and it cost me close to $90 a new copy, right, Caleones? And that game runs $150, right? But I own the damn game now, right? It's my freaking game. I don't have to worry about licenses and bullshit in the future. But anyway, with that said, Caleones, I think we both agree that people overreacted, and hopefully we'll see something good coming out of this new service moving forward. Give Nintendo a chance on this one. So anyway, with that, let's go to the next piece of news because now we're getting into E3 season and the last topic for Hot Topics. So go ahead, Caleones.
Well, and this one, it's I mean, there's no concrete details, but I mean, like you say, E3 season is fun to start speculating. And in this case, and this happened in the U.S. So somebody from the GameStops, they were able to take screenshots of their computer system, and the system was updated with 15 unknown Nintendo Switch games that appeared internally on it. Okay, so what happens with those? So normally, when a company they start doing placeholders and things like that whenever there's games that are going to be announced soon. And of course, E3 season is just around the corner. So it seems like GameStop is getting ready for those announcements so they can, quickly put them in the system and people can go over to the stores or online and they can start doing pre-orders on those games. So there's 15 SKUs. All of them were for $59.99. So that tells me that there's no really special editions and things like that. So it seems like it was 15 games. And if you go to GameStop, they already have games like Yoshi, Smash Brothers, and those games they're already on the system for pre-order. So those are not from that 15 list of games that appeared on the system. So Dantes, it's fun to speculate, but what do you say of this?
Just quickly, I want to say, whoever subscribed, thank you. We're in 689 right now, so 11 more to 700. The road to 700, Caleones. Getting closer and closer. Anyway, so last year, Caleones, I don't know if you remember. You remember that kind of the same thing happened, but it was for 10 unknown SKUs, right?
Yes.
And that time, what came out of that was you had Doom that was announced. A couple of third-party games were announced. Doom was the one that jumps at me because I think that was the biggest surprise. But L.A. Noire and games like that. Yeah, right. So the 15 games, it could be a placeholder in the sense, and Nintendo fans, take it easy. Doesn't mean Nintendo's gonna drop in 15 exclusives from their system. I think it could be they have third-party announcements that are gonna come through from Nintendo themselves, right? Give you an example, Spyro, the trilogy. I know that's going to be announced. I believe it in my balls, Caleones, that it's going to get announced in this Direct. And other third parties that they're going to announce games on their own conferences. Maybe Square Enix or Bethesda or whatever in their own press conference could announce games that are multi-platform games. There's a Switch version coming up, and that's one of the SKUs that is coming, Caleones. It's just going to be an announcement. But it's still exciting because last year, you saw that, and you saw that there was a couple of big surprises that came from the third party, and I think that's going to happen, Caleones. I think there are going to be some good surprises from third party in this E3, so I am really, really looking forward to it and see what Nintendo has up their sleeves, and maybe, again, Nintendo will announce a couple of exclusives, too, from them, which gives me hope that maybe we'll see that Pikmin that I've been praying for, or we'll see that Luigi's mansion that we've been praying for. I know that one of the big rumors, Caleones, is the DLC, the big DLC for Mario Odyssey, where you can play Luigi, Waluigi, and Wario. So that's going to be interesting. I'm hopefully that happens. More than willing to come back to the game and get those remaining moves once I get those other 3 characters, right? Also, I mean, it's just, I wish, honestly, there was more like maybe we get a surprise announcement like the Odyssey sequel where it's going to be Luigi. I don't know. I would be fine with that too. But maybe, I don't know. There can be some surprises. I know the focus on this E3 is going to be on Smash. And Nintendo already stated it. And again, the internet just blows off quickly and just goes crazy. We'll talk about it in the Force In Unison live tomorrow with the same. Sony mentioned that they're going to focus on their 4 exclusives, and everybody was, so that means you're not bringing anything else? No, that doesn't bring that. The same with Nintendo. When they announced that they were going to focus on Smash, and they announced the tournament, people, oh my God, they're not going to have anything else, only Smash. No, people, no. Just mean that they're going to focus because that's their prime game for the holiday season. And I expect some surprises coming out there. I'm hoping maybe they should also show Caleones that big rumor of the Xenoblade DLC where you're gonna use Shulk as a blade. I mean, I'm down for that already. So we'll see. Could be excited. I'm excited for this E3. I think in reality, based on where every company is right now, this is the biggest E3 for Xbox. It is do or die for Xbox. I think with Nintendo and Sony, you know what you're going to get. Sony knows that they're going to go with the 4 exclusives that they're coming in hot for them, which is, again, Last of Us, Spider-Man, Death Stranding, and what's the other one? Anyway, I forgot, but whatever. And then the same for Nintendo. Nintendo is going to be coming in hard with their Smash because everybody is excited as hell for Smash. But again, I keep forgetting Metroid Prime. So I believe that this E3, Caleones, Metroid Prime is going to be showing full-blown gameplay. So that's going to be exciting to see full gameplay. And maybe if the rumors are true and they're rebooting Pokemon with the original 150 Pokemon, I think that's going to be a big deal. And it's going to be exciting to see that first gameplay out of that game. So Nintendo has one that we know, but 2 games that I believe they're going to show off more. So I believe that they're going to have a good E3. So that's what I mean with this is more Xbox to prove because everybody knows what to expect from Sony and Nintendo on this E3. But I think that Nintendo and Sony can still pull off the victory for E3 over Xbox if they have good surprises. But I'm calling it right now. I believe, Caleones, that Xbox is probably going to win the E3 because they're going to have the more surprises out of the other 2 companies, right? We kind of know the schedule for the other 2, but Xbox has a lot of things hitting right now. There's a lot of rumors out of Fable. There's a lot of rumors. I know I'm switching to Force In Unison Live a little bit, but I wanted to touch on base that this is exciting. But there's a lot of rumors for Fable. There's a lot of rumors for A Perfect Dark. There's a lot of rumors that you may see your first footage for a new Gears of War or Halo. So again, this is Xbox to win. They're in the best position to win this E3, but doesn't mean that Nintendo and Sony are going to be showing bad because even though we know those games, we still haven't seen gameplay out of Smash, right, Caleones? We still haven't seen gameplay out of Metroid Prime. We still haven't seen gameplay out of Last of Us 2. We still haven't seen gameplay out of Death Stranding. So a lot of people are excited just to see those games finally playing instead of just a JPEG or a cinema trailer or whatever. So put it all E3 in package. Anything to add, Caleones, to E3? Are you excited or anything that you're looking forward to?
Well, I mean, Nintendo did announce in a way that Fire Emblem should be a 2018 title, even though.
Yeah, sure. But that's okay. Yeah, you're right.
So we should see some sort of gameplay for Fire Emblem, and Pokemon was announced as a 2018 or 2019 title as well. So we should see some Pokemon gameplay as well. So depending on, like for example, like remember when Nintendo. In 2016, they didn't have any games at E3.
They just
basically,
Zelda all year.
They only chose Zelda, and they won E3 just by having Zelda playable.
They did not won E3 by 2016.
They won E3 just by having Zelda playable over there.
Okay, so you're telling me, okay, wait, let's pack this. This is gonna be now a fanboy war here. So you're telling me that Nintendo won that E3 with just one game? That's what you're telling me? Even though in 2016 Sony dropped the God of War reveal, the Spider-Man reveal. The Last of Us, well, not at E3, but it was the same year. But anyway, you're telling me that won over the Sony press conference? That's what you're telling me?
So I'm telling you that the best experience out of the entirety of E3 was people playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, you sleep with that, bro. I'm sorry. There's no way in hell that Nintendo can win at E3 with just one damn game. I'm sorry, Caleones. It is not acceptable. It is a fact, not an opinion, that Nintendo did not win that E3. But go ahead, keep going.
But yeah, to your point, what I'm saying is that, just by Xbox having the most games to show doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to win it. Because like you said, we still haven't seen, for your PS4, for example, you were talking about Death Stranding, right? You were talking about Spider-Man.
Well, we see Spider-Man, but The Last of Us and Death Stranding are no gameplay. We haven't seen no gameplay. Those are the 2 ones that everybody's like more Death Stranding. Like, what the hell is this? Aside from babies coming out of wombs and bullshit like that, any Hideo Kojima crazy shit that he comes up with, but you know what I'm saying.
Maybe the whole twist is going to be that's been the gameplay all along, and we think it's cinematics.
It's the pregnant simulator.
But just going back to, to E3, Nintendo still has many announcements based on what the games that they've already announced, but they haven't shown. So, I mean, like a reveal of Metroid Prime is going to be kind of like a real reveal because the first one was just a JPEG banner, saying Metroid Prime, and that was it. Fire Emblem is same thing. I mean, we haven't seen anything at all. No screenshots, no art, nothing. So that's going to be completely new. And unless Pokemon turns out to be Pokemon Ultra, Sun, Moon, DX for the Switch or something like that, then there's going to be something brand new as well. So and we haven't seen it either. So those are going to feel like they're being announced for the first time. So Microsoft, yes, they have the opportunity, but they have to bring it because Sea of Thieves was supposed to bring it and it did not, and they haven't really had anything else. State of Decay 2 is just around the corner, so we'll see how that one does.
So since we're bringing a little bit of Force In Unison live to this discussion, right? The reason I say that Microsoft has the biggest chance to win is because typically people put a lot of stock in surprises. Now the reason I say that Sony won 2016 years because all the games that they reveal some of them have come out, but at the same time have been good. So it's been reveals and they've been good. Yes. That's my point. So it's not that a false sense of, oh, look at this great game they revealed, but it sucked, right? And that 2016, Sony revealed Detroit Become Human. They revealed Spider-Man, and they revealed God of War. Detroit Become Human is coming soon. God of War it's a great game. And Spider-Man looks great. So, I mean, the promise is still there this year. I think is where Sony gets that promise of 2016. And maybe we should start looking at E3s, Caleones, in the future, more into like the long term. What I mean with that is kind of like draft picks. When you go and you analyze the draft, oh my God, my Colts pick an offensive lineman this year in draft. Is he going to be good? In a couple of years is where you can grade that draft because then you say, oh yeah, God of War deliver. Spider-Man deliver. Okay, so Sony did win E3 on that year because they delivered on the games that came out. We know that Nintendo delivered with Zelda Breath of the Wild, even though it was the only game. I am not denying that, Caleones. But it was still just one game. Now, last year, I gave the win, because I'm not biased. I gave the win to Nintendo because I felt that Nintendo did a good job in balancing the surprises with the gameplay. I know that Mario Odyssey was announced, and we knew that Mario Odyssey was coming, right? But that gameplay was fire! When that plumber came out of that T-Rex in that trailer, Caleones, you're like, oh, I'm in. Done. It's done. I'm in. Right? And then the other surprises that they came up with, which was Metroid Prime. I know it was just a JPEG, and I did deduct points for Nintendo for that. It was still a big announcement, right, Caleones? So you merge your big announcements with surprises with the gameplay you're gonna show, and Nintendo won E3 last year. But because a lot of people put stock in surprises, typically when you see those people fighting in the chat, they typically put stock on the surprises, not so much if the game looked good or bad. Microsoft could come in and show Perfect Dark and could look like trash. Oh, but it was a new announcement, Caleones, right? So they give a lot of points to Microsoft for that. I'm hoping that it looks good. I'm not wishing that it's trash. I'm just giving an example. So that's why what I think is that this is the year for Microsoft to win E3. I have not seen Microsoft win an E3 ever. In my opinion. I have not seen Microsoft do something, but I'm not a fan of Microsoft, so that I am biased on that sense, so I admit that. But this is the year where everything is stacked up, Caleones, where Microsoft can win E3 because they'll have the most surprises, because it has to have surprises because they haven't had an exclusive almost 2 years. And I'm saying Microsoft exclusives. I'm not talking about third-party exclusives because Cuphead, I know that Microsoft publish it, but it's still a second third-party support in a sense, right? I don't even know you can call it exclusives, and it's even on Steam, Cuphead. So in that sense, but that's been the only good exclusive that they had in the last 2 years, aside from the Forza series. But Forza series is expected. I'm just saying Cuphead is the only big surprise that they had in the last 2 years. So that's what I mean. What have you been doing the last 2 years, Microsoft? And this is where they need to show that. Yes, we know what Sony's going to show. Yes, we know what Nintendo's going to show. But we haven't seen gameplay of Prime. It could look fire, Caleones. If they show that gameplay, it looks great. It could take make a lot of people notice, right? Same with Fire Emblem. I'm not a fan of Fire Emblem, but a lot of fans of Fire Emblem. Same with the Pokemon reboot. I am saying that this Pokemon needs to be the Breath of the Wild for Pokemon. That's what I'm saying. People, I believe, even though it's sold fire, I'm not saying it's over 10 million units. At some point, the series is gonna get too stagnant. That it's gonna start losing fans. I think this is the time. If you're doing a rework, or a reboot, everybody know that everybody with Pokemon Go is right now hot with the original Pokemon. I think you need to focus on that. So that could make it good. And again, the same with Sony. We know the games are coming, but we haven't seen gameplay. So since this is a Nintendo podcast, I'm gonna touch base. We're gonna talk about it in Force In Unison Live. But it's E3. It's interesting. Me and Caleones, we're gonna try to see if we can take some day off from work and be live for you guys, so you guys can see it on the live our reactions for it. I had a good time with the Nintendo I don't know if you call it direct or showcase, whatever you want to call it, last year. I thought it was cool. I'm looking forward to Nintendo. I'm really looking forward to what Nintendo. I'm saying this. I'm looking more forward to what Nintendo is gonna bring than Sony, because I already know what Sony's gonna bring. You see what I'm saying? I believe that there's gonna be cool surprises for my taste from Nintendo this year that it could make their E3 fire too. So I'm not saying that Sony's gonna suck or whatever because they're gonna focus on 4 exclusives. It makes sense that they're gonna focus on 4 exclusives because you already know. Oh, the other one what they wanted to focus Ghost of Tsushima. We haven't seen gameplay of that. I am hyped to see gameplay for that, but I already know that it's coming. That's my point. I think Nintendo, with what I know it's coming, I'm excited because the things that are coming are not things that I'm typically a fan of with Nintendo. Fire Emblem and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan, but I'm hoping that Pikmin drop, and now I'm a fan of Pikmin, so then that's where it gets me excited for the Nintendo side of it. So I believe Nintendo has a great chance to surprise. I'm just saying that it's Xbox to win. And if they mess it up, Caleones, it's their own fault, baby, because they should be the one bringing all the surprises and all the great stuff that no one expects this E3. Anyway, unless you want to add something, we can move on.
No, I mean, just Microsoft, they're going to be hosting it over at the Microsoft Theater, so they have complete control of the venue. They're not going to be at E3 per se. They're going to be over at the theater. I think EA is not going to be at E3, so they're going to have their own place as well. So yeah, they have full control, and it's going to be theirs to win. So we'll see what happens. But moving on to the next piece of news.
Wait, it's over. Remember,
it's over?
That's okay. Our topic is over. So that means it's 47 minutes in. On those 3 topics, it was 47
15 minutes each.
It's hype. It's down. But anyway, Caleones, it's over for Reggie's Hot Topics. So now we're moving to Onuma's News Burst. So what is the first piece of news? Someday I'll get the sound bite. But go ahead, Caleones.
Okay, so the first one is that Bandai Namco says that they are currently developing multiple original titles for the Nintendo Switch. The company announced that we are also currently developing multiple original titles for the Nintendo Switch, which has been spreading worldwide, and they are planned to be released in order starting from this summer. Bandai Namco, they haven't exactly said what titles they're going to be working. They're working on. Supposedly they have either 3 or 4 unannounced titles exclusively for the Switch, but those are that hasn't been confirmed yet, so we cannot say that for certainty. But it seems like E3 again is going to be the time where they're going to be announcing those, and as soon as they're announced, they should be releasing pretty close to that one. So it's probably going to be something like last year and Ubisoft, where we had Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle announced at E3, and then it released in August, like 2 months later. Even if the game has a quick turnaround of announcement and release, it shouldn't really affect anything. And I think for something like Bandai Namco, hopefully those are we're going to see them sooner than later, and I believe E3 is the time that we're going to see them.
Yep. So quickly to end the news quickly, but since we're news burst, of course. So, what are the 2 titles that you think? I think that the titles that they're mentioning, multiple titles, are Metroid Prime and Smash. That's my best guess. I don't know if you feel there could be something else.
I don't know, because I mean they haven't really said it this way before. So I mean they've already worked before on on Smash. They worked on other games, on the Nintendo games as well, but they never really included those games as part of games that they were working for. So normally those are reserved for additional titles. I mean it could be. I don't know. It could be something like the Dragon Ball Z games, Dragon Ball Fighters or something like that. So that's a real possibility to be coming over. Of course, they're already doing a lot with the One Piece and the Naruto's and things like that. So we're probably gonna be seeing more of those. But I don't know. Like I'm just hoping for I mean brand new titles that are going to be exclusive to the system, and that's of course me being a biased Nintendo owner. But
With that,
I mean, that's what I
Caleones,
would love.
segue, because the next piece of news, and we can jump straight to it. A Nintendo software engineer tweet suggests that Bandai Namco is working on Smash on the Switch, and that's what I brought it up. I'm sorry that I jumped on that news, but I think it was a great segue for the next one, Caleones. So that's why I believe that those two games are the ones. But to your point, it could be something else, another surprise. I think Bandai Namco has a great relationship with Nintendo. Maybe Caleones, one of those things is that a re-release of a Xenosaga for the Switch. Give a chance to Takahashi to fix the combat system in 2, which is the reason why that game suck. And I don't know, put some tweets on it. Monolith Soft could come in and says let's make Xenosaga what it meant to be. Everything they've learned from Xenoblade, it could be a great chance to fix Xenosaga. Caleones. So, and I'll be happy. I'll be supporting that shit fast. But I hope, that's my hope, Caleones. That's my kind of my hope. Hopefully.
Yeah, but to your point, I believe it was on either last month or sometime that they renewed the I guess the Xenosaga title. Yeah, the trademark for the title, Xenosaga. They renewed it again. So I mean, there's speculation that yes, they're considering bringing them on. Hopefully, if they do, it's going to be more game, less cinematics, and maybe they can finish up the episodes that they wanted to finish that they never got to. So I mean, hopefully we're going to see that. But yeah, I mean, Cosmos maybe on Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for a reason. Maybe is so they can start doing that promotion for the Xenosaga games. Hopefully it turns out to be true.
Yep. So with that, guys, another big news too. Next one, baby. I know this is gonna be a mini rant coming up. I'm warming up like Mr. Miyagi right now. Wax on, wax off. Okay, go ahead, Caleones.
Okay, so Dantes. This one is I'll say it's a pretty big one because you've heard me talk about it a lot. You've heard a lot, other people talking about it as well. And the news is that Monster Hunter Double Cross, aka Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, will be coming to the Nintendo Switch on August 28th in Europe and North America as well. And basically to the West. So it seems like
they call me Nostradamus right here, motherfucker. I mean, sorry.
It could be either that Capcom realized that they have to release the game over here, or it could be that maybe Sony's exclusivity deal with not having Monster Hunter ported over to the West. I don't know, like it could be a lot of different things, Dantes. But tell me what you think about this.
Bullshit. Anyway, like I keep telling fanboys, companies work to make money, not to make other companies' life a living hell. So there's no way in hell that Capcom accepted money from Sony. They don't give a crap. What you guys need to admit is that Monster Hunter World, Switch cannot run it. Pure and simple. It's done. It's over. It can't. But this game can. And I know that a lot of people were clamoring, and that's my point that I was getting. You have that game made already for the Switch in Japan. Why are you not porting it over already? And that's where I was like, Capcom, you're losing money. But no, I think maybe what they were it was working on that port. They couldn't announce it until you need to translate. It takes time to translate all that text. And you know how it sometimes in the old days, Caleones, now translation are gone faster, which is great. But in the old days, you sometimes had to wait like a year and a half or two until a game come over here from the east to the west because it took time to translate. So maybe Capcom was just working on that translation, getting it ready, making sure that the online was working. Also, if you notice, Caleones is really close to that Nintendo online service. So maybe Nintendo and Capcom was working together instead of just saying they took exclusivity deal where Nintendo was like, hey man, Capcom, my bro, can you do us a solid and just give me that Monster Hunter, but really close to our online service because people are going to buy that shit. And people are going to pay for online. That was Nintendo. Exactly. That's how Kamashima was talking to Capcom at that time. And this is a fact. And anyway, and the reason I say that is because, Caleones, as soon as Monster Hunter came out, the pre-order, guess which one became the number one on Amazon? Monster Hunter Ultimate Generations on the Switch. So my point to that is we knew this game was going to sell. Monster Hunter is hot. Monster Hunter World is helping, Caleones, is helping this game sell as well as it's selling right now because the fever is high and a lot of console owners, it's good. It's good that the two games are different. You know why? Because people that are fan of Monster Hunter now for the PlayStation and Xbox and they have Switches, right? They want to buy Monster Hunter on the Switch because they want to have it portable so they can play with friends also on the Switch, Caleones. So this game is going to sell. It's close to the service. So that's going to force people to buy the online service. It's a big win-win for Nintendo and Capcom. Almost felt like a Hot Topic segment there because I went on a rant. But anything to add? Let's make it a Hot Topic quickly. Anything to add of anything that I stated?
Well, okay, so let's talk about Monster Hunter Double Cross now becoming Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. So when it comes to Ultimate, basically when it comes to certain updates, game content, monsters, things like that, they're all collected on this version, which may not have may not be available completely on the Double Cross, but you have to remember the last time that Monster Hunter Generations game came out was on the 3DS, and this was back on 2016, and the game actually sold pretty well. They sold 3.54 million copies. I know that Monster Hunter World, I think is in its first month or so, it already had like over 5 million copies sold.
Yeah,
so it did
right now.
Yeah, close to 8 right now. So it did extremely well. But something else that you noticed when this announcement was made is that Monster Hunter World has already fallen out of the top 20 in Japan. So the game is not on the top 20 anymore. It seems like it's pretty much already sold everything that it was going to sell. And now Capcom says, okay, so we went ahead and not released Monster Hunter to the West because we were waiting for World, which was going to be a worldwide release to sell. It already sold everything that it could. It's already died down. So now is the time to go ahead and bring out Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate on the Switch, for the rest of the world. Because yes, some people that may have wanted to play Monster Hunter games before, and they hadn't because it has so many versions. They went ahead and jumped in on Monster Hunter World, and now they say, hey, I like it. The Switch version is not necessarily the same. It may play a little bit different, but I'm willing to go ahead and give it a try and jump over.
Correct.
But I think the biggest thing for this is actually for the old Monster Hunter players, because if there was one thing that you cannot do on Monster Hunter World was actually carry over your save data from your 3DS games, your Wii U games, and those. You cannot carry over the save data, but now you will be able to carry over your save data from those games over to the Switch. So, I mean, there's been players that have been, carrying the save data for years and years and years. They have so much stuff in there, so much time devoted to their characters. So now they will finally be able to move it over to the Switch. So I'm glad that Capcom is doing it. Maybe Capcom will continue with the Monster Hunter Worlds games on the PS4 and the Xbox, and then they'll have the Monster Hunter Generation type games on the Nintendo Switch. They may keep it that way.
Best of both worlds, Caleones.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. That's what frustrates me about fanboys and making all this stupid theories and bullshit like this is because companies are here to make money, and this makes sense. And I'm still saying that I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo said, hold that release until close to our online service, baby, because it's gonna make even more people, I believe, right, with Monster Hunter and Smash close to that release of the service, Caleones. Nintendo's gonna rack in that money, just saying, for the online service. So it's a smart move. You have to admit it. It is a smart move to keep it closer to the online service release date. So we shall see. Anyway, with that, we're done with Hot Topics now officially. No, I'm joking. Go to the next piece of news, and we'll hit it rapid fire because we're 59 minutes in. The show's been big. But let's now for sure. I'm gonna let Caleones hit the rapid fire. Go ahead, Caleones.
This one is that Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy for the Nintendo Switch has actually been pushed forward. So the game was originally going to be released on July 10th. Now it's going to be coming out on June 29th. I say that this is one, Activision doing a solid for the gamers, making them have the game earlier since it's available on other consoles. But it could also be because maybe they're getting ready to announce Spiral for the Switch, and it could be releasing a couple of months later. So we'll see what really is going on with that one. But I'm glad that they're going to offer it earlier.
Cool. Go ahead.
Okay, going over with the next one. EA is expecting the Switch to have built an install base of over 30 million Nintendo Switch units by December 31st. So this goes, I guess it goes in line somewhat with what Nintendo said. Nintendo said that they expected to sell an additional 20 million Nintendo Switch units in 2018 fiscal year, meaning that it ends fiscal year on March 31st. This is EA saying that they expect there to be at least 30 million Nintendo Switch units by December. So that means that the 17 plus million that Nintendo has already sold, plus an additional 13 million sold from now until December. So,
but
30
let me intervene here quickly. I believe the EA's estimates are better than Nintendo's. I think they're more realistic in reality.
No, but for me, it's pretty much the same. I mean, one is saying
not the
that
same. I don't think Nintendo will sell 7 million units, and the fiscal year ends in March. So I don't think the Switch will sell 7 million units in 2 months or 3 months, right? So to me, around 15 million is what I'm saying that Nintendo's gonna sell. I think this aligns better with that. Also, it's a little bit over. I'm not denying that, but it's not 20 million. That's what I'm saying. I think 20 million is really unrealistic, but if there's one company who can make it, it's Nintendo.
So, but yeah, to make it a final point, December 21st, how many Switch units in the wild? How many do you say they'll have?
I mean, EA has really good knowledge of their, their how you call it, their evaluations. 30 million is fine. I think 30 million by December 21st is I think it's fair.
Okay. I'll say maybe like 33, 34.
Okay. That's fine.
Well, we'll see.
We shall see. Well, Nintendo, at least Nintendo give numbers, and they don't give like how many hours people shoot zombies in Gears of War. But anyway, keep going, Caleones.
Okay, going on with the next one, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 soundtrack will be getting a digital release, a global digital release, and it's going to be releasing this May 23rd. If you guys are familiar or not familiar with the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 soundtrack, Dantes makes sure to put the song every single Get In and Get Out, so you will get to hear one of those songs on our podcast if you listen to it.
Yep.
So Dantes, how excited are you about the soundtrack?
I may buy it to support it because it's a really good soundtrack, but we shall see.
Okay, Nintendo says that the big Splatoon news that was announced or that were rumored are actually a baseless rumor. So, Dantes, talk about a company that they usually say, we do not comment on rumors. They actually did comment on this one, saying that the Splatoon announcement was not going to be it wasn't real, basically. But there's actually a two-part to this story. So, the speculation was that Famitsu, on their issue that was going to be coming out on last Monday, that they were going to show, or they were going to talk about something big, something earth-shattering, something game-changing for Splatoon 2, but Nintendo said that it wasn't true, it wasn't going to be there. What we actually had later on was the Coral magazine stating that they have a June 9 announcements for Splatoon 2. They didn't really say exactly what it was, but the speculation is a little bit muddy because, yes, Coral is a manga or a magazine that has mangas in it. So people are saying, hey, is a new Splatoon manga is going to be coming out. But there's others that have said, Coral used to be one of the magazines that announced, video games. And I think somebody on Reset Era made a mention that games like Pokemon X and Y were first revealed on Coral, or they had their screens revealed for the first time on Coral magazine. So it's not necessarily a manga per se, but that's what most people say it will be. So it's not going to be something big for Splatoon. but we'll see. It's going to be announced on June 9th.
The only thing I'm gonna add is it really looks like we're in E3 season because every small news just blows up and fanboys are just creating their own theories and shit like that. It's really exciting time. It's just funny, but anyway, keep going, Caleones.
Okay, going over with the next one. This is coming from I guess another win for Nintendo and Nvidia. So Nvidia has given credit to the Switch for helping the company have a strong quarter with growth across every platform. We know that AMD is the one giving support to Sony consoles, Microsoft consoles. And Nvidia, in the last effort to get some of the foothold when it came to the home systems, they went ahead and did I guess some sort of agreement, some sort of partnership with Nintendo, and a partnership that they said that they are expecting for it to last for at least 20 years, and everything seems to be doing great. They, of course, I mean, if we get a Switch Plus or a Switch 2.0 or something like that, it's going to be with Nvidia. The Nintendo's going to be doing it, but they are experiencing great revenue, and that's great news for both of the companies.
Yeah, I mean, Nvidia do make good graphic cards, so.
And we have the last piece of news, and it is that Kirby Star Allies has now sold over 500,000 copies, and this is the latest Japanese sales data. They were estimating that as of May 6th, Kirby Star Allies has already sold 501,288 copies in Japan. This is in Japan. This is not worldwide. So Dantes, over 500,000 copies already sold for Kirby in Japan. If you add the numbers worldwide, I'm pretty sure it's well over the 1 million mark. It could be something where it could climb up to maybe 2 million, 3 million copies. How well do you see this game going? And is it surprising to you that it sold this well?
I'm gonna sound petty because I am a fanboy of Xenoblade, but I'm a little bit disappointed in the Japanese market that this game, who looks like crap, sells more in Japan than the masterpiece that is Xenoblade Chronicles. So
Dantes he's just not a fan of Kirby. He doesn't really play them.
I'm just saying, Japanese gamers, you disappoint me. I am really disappointed. I am happy that Xenoblade has sold that well, but really, you buy 500,000 of the pink ball, the pink sucking ball, but don't buy Xenoblade Chronicles, even though the last Xenoblade is more of a Japanese game, way more than the original too. Just saying. Anyway, with that, I sounded petty. I apologize now. What you asked me, your question is, good for the game. I mean, it probably cost like $25 to make, so I mean, it's already making the money, so good for it.
Okay, I'll give you this. The game, I'm pretty. If I know, it's been made by the Unreal Engine 4, so it's not really that Nintendo has been.
You could do it with Unreal Engine 1, but anyway, keep going.
Okay. But I'm glad Nintendo. I'm happy they're selling well, and hopefully we'll continue to see more franchises coming over.
Did you buy the game? Did you bought the game, Caleones?
No, because
you don't care because it's crap.
Because I'm already putting my time. I'm gonna be putting my time on. Well, first off, I'm working on Battle Chasers Night War. I was doing the review, so I've been playing the game. Now we got today Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for the Switch, so we're gonna be playing that one as well. And Kirby is gonna be.
And where's Kirby? Now, why didn't you put it in your top of your list? Because you don't care about a pink sucking ball of a game. That's what I'm saying. And you Japanese gamers, you better get your shit together. And I expect Xenoblade Chronicles 3 to sell way better than that pink sucking ball.
And with this, we've actually finished with our news, and we're getting ready to move over to Shigeru's supermarket.
hey, okay, you needed me to put the sound bar. Okay, I'll put it for you. I'm just tired of seeing the pink ball beating Xenoblade Chronicles in Japan. Anyway, here's your damn soundbite. There you go. What's in today's market? What is in the market today? I don't know what the hell. Just say what the hell is in the market today.
Okay, so the games that we have coming out this week are going to be the 3/4 Home Extended Edition, the Fall, Super Chariot, Suicide Guy, One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 Deluxe Edition, Kitten Squad. We have the Immortal Redneck, Garage, Super Psychics 2, the Pinball Arcade, Hyper Sentinel, and those are gonna be the games of this week. So I'll say like one that is kind of like a middle of the week release that I probably should have mentioned is the Shantae Half Genie Hero Ultimate Edition as well. And I believe out of all those games, that one is probably going to be the game of the week.
Okay, Caleones. So that is the news for today. Big show, an hour and 10 minutes, baby. But it's time to end it. It's time to end it. And now we're going to put some nice music from that soundtrack that is fire. Boom. Oh, that's so good. I'm not putting some Kirby music, no, to end the show. I am putting some Xenoblade music. I want to thank everybody who come through and watch the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast, episode 45, right here at the Force In Unison Gaming channel. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment so you can make these two crazy MS happy. Also remember that you can get this podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes for free. Rate us over there so you can show up some love. Also, hey, we do have a Facebook page called @Force In Unison Gaming. But go to the description box below, Caleones. There's something interesting there that I changed. And it's basically the new show called PlayStation Mondays. And this Monday, I am hoping... first, let me clarify. I'm not ending Xenoblade Mondays. No, Xenoblade Monday is a seasonal show. It may come back later this year once everything in the DLC has come out, and I may do a full walkthrough of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 with the new stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. That could be when Xenoblade Mondays returns. But for now, I am going to start streaming God of War this Monday. If the views are good, I will keep doing it. I'm being clear. With me and Caleones, this is like a Fox. If you don't deliver the views, you get canceled. Yeah, we'll give you like 2 weeks, maybe tops. 3 weeks, maybe tops.
And to segue real quick, I just wanted to say, good news, everybody. The Brooklyn Nine-Nine has been picked up by NBC, so you will be seeing it.
At least NBC gives shows a little bit longer than Fox, but Fox is known to like, cut that shit down quickly. But we're like Fox, me and Caleones. If something's not working, we'll cut it, and I'll bring Xenoblade Chronicles back. I know this channel is more geared to Nintendo fans, which is fine, but I want to open it more. I'm honestly hoping that Caleones can get an Xbox Bro that he can own one day of the week and just dedicate it to Xbox, so we can expand this channel, because the goal at the start of the channel wasn't a Nintendo YouTube channel. It was Force In Unison Gaming. We're Force In Unison. You have your Xbox fans, your PlayStation fans, your Nintendo fans together, where we had fun. We take jabs at each other, all in fun and games, but still, it was a unison. We're all gamers at the end. So the reason I say all that is because that's what I'm trying to do with PlayStation Monday, is where I'm streaming on PlayStation. And once I finish God of War stream, I'm hoping then to stream Crash Bandicoot, Caleones. And then I will do Crash Bandicoot 2 and Crash Bandicoot 3. I already did one, so I cannot do it anymore. I already platted it. But now that I have a nice setup to record in my room with my beast of a laptop, Caleones, where I can process videos in like 2 minutes, that has motivated me better. Because, you know, processing videos just plain suck when you're doing stuff. But yeah, that's my goal. And then after Crash Bandicoot, I may do Undertale, another Nintendo game that is coming up. Maybe I mix it. I pick PlayStation games. There are also Nintendo games that are coming, so you can see them before. If you're interested on it, you can then buy on the Switch. Helps the Switch too. So kind of my idea for PlayStation Mondays. But with that said, streaming Wednesday still stays. Streaming Wednesdays every Wednesday. Caleones and Clean G will stream for your entertainment. Fridays, I named the show now Toys and More Club Present, and the reason I put it that way is that way Toys and More Club can stream whatever they feel on Fridays. It has to be Fortnite. It can be whatever they want to stream that night. And of course, Saturday and Sunday we have the Get In and Get Out on Saturdays, and Sunday Force In Unison Live. Anyway, and finally, go to chicagosnews.com and give some clicks and love to my boy Caleones. With all that said, thank you again for watching, guys. And long live gaming! See you, everybody.